Hey everybody, welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I am your host, Chuck Fulkerson. It is Tuesday, December the 5th, 2017. Hope everybody had an amazing trading day. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. Glad you were able to join us today. For those of you that have come before, thanks for coming back. Today we're going to do what we do every day in the Daily Market Commentary. We look at the same 12 markets and we identify potential turning points, potential breakout trades, and really the key is we leave our lines on the charts so that you can see how these levels are created and what changes in them over time. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with the S&P. So the S&P today, we had our level that we identified as a potential reversal point, and price hit in here last night, probably about an hour after releasing the Daily Market Commentary. The market started to rally up. It came back down into it again, and it really gave you two chances for entry. I will say, and I'd love to tell you that it was divine providence and that I was a genius and that I knew it was going to happen. But I really kind of felt like with this candlestick right here, we were getting a bit weak. So I tried to post in the Twitter feed that looks like we're stalling after a nice little run, maybe time to take some profits. And hopefully some of you did that as from there, it just completely fell off for the rest of the day, closing on the lows. Nice little pullback. So obviously we've got to remove this area. This area is no longer going to be a valid trade entry. I'm tempted to use this area up here kind of going forward as a selling point if we can make it up to there. Really, actually, if you go to a 15-minute time period, I think we're going to get a little reversal point off of here. Simply because this was a support region right here. We had a drop, a little bit of fair price, and then a drop away. And that little bit of fair price, I think, could turn out to be a potential entry point through here. So I'm going to put a purple line on here. Now, remember the rule on purple lines. A purple line simply means that it's done on a lower time period. And those lower time period means you've got a slightly lower probability of success. And you may want to change your risk tolerances in here a little bit. You may want to tighten up the level. You may want to just forgo the trade altogether. It's completely up to you and what you're willing to do. So here's a potential area that I think, and I'm very hesitant to short in this kind of a market. I've really kind of been hesitant to short at all, but I do think that there's a chance that you can get a little reversal off of this if we get a little pop up in the overnight hours. Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq today, look at this. We keep flirting with this area here. This area we flirted with it again. Didn't quite meet entry on it today. I'm going to leave everything as is in the Nasdaq. You may get a reversal off this region up here. And frankly, the Nasdaq has been weaker than the S&P in general. So if we do get that kind of run back up, you do have a reversal here. The thing I don't like on that 15-minute is that we've already dropped from this region, and this was kind of a re-entry into this area. So I'm going to leave that be for now, simply because it's got a slightly lower degree of probability. Our crude oil level that we identified yesterday, price almost got to there today, was unable to get filled, so that level still remains intact. We're going to leave that be. And then gold, strong fall off in gold today, but we were not able to get filled on anything as we didn't have any trades set up in the gold markets. So taking a look at our bonds, the Aussie and the Canadian bond market still in between our areas. The Aussie dollar, we had talked yesterday about the Aussie dollar coming off of our region, and that short was working out. My recommendation yesterday was to take your stop and adjust it and move it, or to take profits. And so, there's no reason why you would have lost money on this position, but we cannot use it any longer as it's dead. That becomes a dead area. Now, where can I look next? Well, there's nothing I like in here. This is simply a reaction to some of this region over here to the left. So I'm going to leave that be. And then this is kind of, it's a reaction of this area over here to the left again. I'm going to go to a 4-hour chart and see if there's anything that strikes me. And the answer is no. There's really nothing that is striking me in the Aussie. So I'm going to just kind of leave it be. We're going to let this thing rest, take our trade off, and let it be. Now, The euro today, we finally got our breakout to the short side on the euro. So our breakout did occur in the euro. Now, remember the rules of the breakout. Once you get a breakout, your stop goes above the prior swing high. So the stop in the euro should be right up in this range here. Depending on your risk tolerance, that's a fairly wide area. If you're willing to take that much risk or not. It's kind of come down. I think that it could still, if you miss the entry on the breakout once, if you start looking at candle-to-candle style of trading, I think you may get another opportunity again. But this is a good chance to really look at candle-to-candle style of trading. And if we get a lower low than the prior candle's low, then it may be a chance to re-enter on this short. So this one is still moving. We'll keep an eye on this one. Canadian dollar failed miserably. Love to give you a better prognosis, but nope, failed miserably. We finally got the breakout above the area. So your stop would go just below this pivot. Price went up, gave us some hope. And then the hope was just snatched away. We snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Unless you were, taking profits up here, and frankly, there's really no reason to have taken them that early. So I was mistaken on this breakout. This breakout did not work. Looking at this on a bigger picture, to call it the 4-hour chart, I would have anticipated this breakout to work. It's got the markings of everything that would work. It just didn't, and sometimes that happens. So live and learn, and that's always repeat the phrase: I love my stops. I love my stops. I love my stops. Great British Pound. So the Great British Pound, we had this. Zoom in on this here very quickly. So we had a touch and go off of this Great British Pound area. So you still may or may not be in this thing based upon, or if you got filled. But this is really, really, really a tight area. We've started to move up from it. I think it's a good time if you're in it to take your stop, move it up underneath one of the prior swing lows, lock in a little bit of profit, and allow that thing to keep running. Ultimately, I think that we're near our profit objective of right up here. This would be our profit objective, our opposing fair price zone. So Great British Pound level seems to be working out okay so far. The Japanese yen, we're not there yet. So we're just going to give the Japanese yen a little bit more time. And then copper. Look at what copper has done the last couple of days. Now, we didn't have a trade set up in copper, but good gosh almighty, as my grandfather used to say. Copper has really fallen off a cliff. Now, this is a little scary because copper, a lot of people consider copper to be a very strong leading indicator. Now, on a daily time period, there's really plenty of room for copper to keep falling, in my mind, down to this region. So with that being said, it may be time to look to short a rally into maybe a smaller time frame area. So if I come back in here and you look at some of these smaller time frame areas, I think if you get a rally back up into this region right here, that could be a good opportunity to get short copper. Right through here. So that being said, I hope everybody had an excellent trading. Oh, one more thing before we go. I'm going to put a link to it in the comment section. I'm trying to do an annual, call it an annual charity drive. And so this year, our charity drive that we put up, I'm running a marathon. So I put up a GoFundMe account. So if you guys would be so kind to just it's gofundme.com/IIE Financial. You can read all about the charity. It'd be great if you guys would consider donating. It's a great charity. These guys they travel around the world as missionaries, and they help a lot of people in what they do. And it's what my wife and I really we've kind of gotten behind it a little bit. So I'm running a marathon. Somebody needs to pray for me because hopefully I can finish it. So thanks so much, everybody, for your attention today. If you've got any questions, certainly feel free to give me a shoot, give me an email, a tweet, a shout out, or whatever you need. Talk to you soon, and I hope you have a great